G'day there YouTube. So if you saw last week's video where I made a new threaded barrel that goes in between my heat break and my hot end, it's actually, I don't know if you can see it, I've got an airflow guide, real fancy airflow guides here, I've got Weet-Bix box and so can, but yeah, that barrel is in there and it does work. So that's a beauty, and I've printed these parts with that barrel in place there, not too bad. This one's been vapor washed, that one hasn't. So pretty happy there. And now I'm going to upgrade my extruder a little bit. I've got a new quick release flappy bit there, I forget what that's called. And I've also discovered that the old Hobbed bolt I was using, which I hobbed myself, is not actually fitting in my, it's hard to do this with one hand, but it doesn't actually fit real good. There's a tiny bit of play there. I don't know if you can see that with my one-handed action, but there is a tiny bit of play where that nut can turn in its socket. So, and it's not because the printed part's the wrong size, it turns out it's because I used the wrong size nut. A quick investigation down in my nuts and bolts bucket, and I found that one there that fits much, much tighter. So, time to, and it's all threads and stuff work. So that'll fit in alright. Now the bearing goes in there. Plenty of room to do the bolts up, nuts up, and put some washers and stuff around. So that'll be alright. So, first thing I'm going to do before I hob that is make sure I hob it in the right spot. Because that was also an issue with this one. It was actually not quite right. Didn't allow for a washer down in there. That washer in there. And so it's, the thickness of a washer off really centre grabbing the filament. So what I did to make sure I get it right this time is grab my permanent marker and I carefully lined things up and stuck my permanent marker down in there like so. And then I just turn the gears by hand, and I can't do that while I'm holding the camera, but you get the idea. While I was holding the marker in there and I got a line all the way around. So now I'm just going to take these parts out. And again, this is all pretty tricky with one hand. And I'm going to go and, I need those bearings, unless you've got spare bearings. So I've got one there, and I'll fish this one here out, fish this other bearing here out, and I'm going to go over to my vise, and we'll see how to do a Hobbed bolt. Okay, so once you've put your mark where you need your hobbing to go, I'm using a small triangular file. You can also use a hacksaw for this, or even just the edge of a regular file if you've got a file with a filey corner on it. You just want to put a little groove. It doesn't want to be very deep. You'll mess it up if you go too deep. So I'm just resting my finger on there. It's nice and smooth, so it's not going to hurt me. And like so. Right, I've already done a bit before the video, but there's barely a groove there. It's just a really rough guide. And once you've done that, you're ready to move on to the next step. Okay, so I've got my very small groove marked in the middle of my rod. My rod is now in the bearings from the extruder, bolt, sorry, and it spins very freely. Now I'm going to take my M6 drill bit, and you experiment with different sizes if you like. I've read up and looked around and tried a few different things. I reckon this is a pretty good size. You want something with nice chunky teeth on it. You don't want to go too small. And you take your drill bit in your drill and you use it on your groove like so. And with a bit of luck, this should start turning. It's not turning. That's not what we want. It turned with the camera off. As soon as you turn the camera on, it doesn't work. Let's turn the camera off and try that without the camera. Okay, see that? We're already starting to get some pretty decent hobbing appearing there. Let's go into a closer look. And the camera's not going to focus. Zoom, and it's even worse. Come on, camera. It's not going to focus. I'll take some photos of this and I'll insert them, edit them into the video. Alright, that's getting better. Yeah, focus. Where I've lost focus again. There we go. Okay, so you can see that hobbing's getting in there. I still see a trace of that little less than 1mm groove I made. So I'm just going to keep going until that's gone. This is why you don't want to make your groove too deep. You don't want to mill too much off your bolt to get rid of that, but you do need the groove to get you started. Otherwise you won't get it in the right spot. And now I'm going to start going on a different angle because I can't see the way these tap parts work is it's got a different thread cutting sort of angle on the front to the back. So I want to, as I'm starting to get close to the finished product, I want to start moving towards the back. So I'm going to change the angle so that I'm not crashing into my 3D printed soft jaws there. So I'm going to go like that. And maybe try this side because that's not very comfortable. There we go. Oh, and look at this. I can actually rest the round part. If I get it on camera, I can rest the round part of my drill bit on my soft jaw. Ha! Look at that. Nope, sort of, not quite. Chewing up my soft jaw. That's alright, I can print another one of those. Going off course there. And a bit of coolant or lubricant or cutting compound, whatever you got. I hear milk works for this. I'm really keen to try that one day. Maybe that's next week's video. Alright, I'm all done. Battery went flat. I was going to do a time-lapsey thing, but anyway. You get the idea. Look at that. One perfect hobbed bolt. Ready to go straight in my extruder. I'll go and fit that up and we'll come back and have a look at it working. Alright, I've got the new hub bolt installed on the new gear. The old gear's still fine, but I thought I'd throw a new one on there to mix things up and get some colour happening. I don't know if we can see it down there, but that is the new one that we just made. Let's see if it works. I've just heated the extruder up to temperature for the first time. Might take a sec for the filament to feed in. Oh, look at that. I've got plastic. We've got a dangle that got caught. There we go, look at that. Works a treat. Let's see if it'll go faster. Just turning the speed up, and let's go again. Oh yeah. No worries with that. So there you go. Now you know how to make a Hobbed bolt that actually works. It's not that hard. Thanks for watching.